Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to take a quick moment to talk about something that is got the internet on storm. Is Etsy cracking down on 3D printing? So let's talk about this really quick. In the last couple of days, Etsy has made a few changes to their policies, and it looks like it could impact people that create digital files that are then used by others to sell physical products. So it looks like Tom's Hardware was the first one to announce this. They kind of dug in, they read the updates, and they printed this article. Now, I've seen a bunch of stuff, and it seems very nebulous, and one place you'll see one answer and another place you'll see another. Now let's take a look at the actual wording of what changed. Here we are on Etsy's legal page, and it says items produced using computerized tools, physical items that a seller produced in their personal shop or home using computerized tools such as a laser printer, 3D printer, CNC, or Cricut machine. These items must be produced based on a seller's original design. And that's where we get it. That's seller's original design. So, I have featured some makers in the past, specifically Cinderwings. I featured some of their products in one of my videos. Now, I don't personally print and sell these products, so it's not impacting me directly, but there's a lot of people that do, and they've made a good amount of money on this. Now, Cinderwings actually came out and put out a little, I got an email about it since I'm a supporter of their channel or their account on Things. And, they said, hey, look, we haven't heard of anybody's shop getting shut down yet. But even Etsy came back and said, hey, look, we know there's some confusion here. And this whole, I'm not going to read this to you, but this whole update from them that just came out on Tuesday, today's Thursday, so just a couple of days ago, it still doesn't really do anything to clarify. It just says, hey, we were just making some clarification to our standards, but it doesn't really do a whole lot to help us out. Now, I can understand where potentially Etsy is trying to go with this. If you look here, this is on Amazon. I'm pretty sure that's one of Cinderwings' crystal dragons. They even call it a crystal dragon. And what I think Etsy is attempting to do is prevent somebody from taking a digital file, sending it out, to another company to have this mass produced, and then selling that. So they're just a reseller essentially. They have no part in the production process. Now, I've seen a number of in my Facebook groups, a number of people that have been talking about this, and they have, folks have reached out to Etsy and said, hey, I'm a digital file creator. I give people a commercial license to physically produce and then sell this file. Are you going to shut that down? And so here's an example. Again, if you've been paying attention to my channel, or if you're a frequent watcher and subscriber, I appreciate you. Just the video I posted yesterday featured one of Daryl Aspin's files. And so he put in his group, this is another member that had reached out to Etsy, and they said, hey, I sell digital files for laser cutting with commercial rights. Are my customers still allowed to buy my files and cut them in their laser and assemble, paint them by hand, and sell the finished product on Etsy? And the response from the individual at Etsy said, yes, your customers can still use the digital files to create physical items and sell those as long as they make them themselves. So yeah, there still seems to be a lot of confusion, and I've seen a number of answers from Etsy that kind of go along this vein, but then we've also seen some that say no, it kind of goes back to that original one that says it has to be an original design. So that's kind of where we're at now. I think there's still a lot of confusion, but I'm curious as to your thoughts. Is this a good thing? Is this Etsy crackdown going to kind of give everybody I won't say necessarily equal footing, but it takes that, hey, if you can't create a file and design your own personal object to sell on Etsy, then you're out of luck. You're not going to be able to leverage those designers that do have the skills to create a, whether it's a an STL file like STL Flicks, or if it's a a design, or heck, even something like Creative Fabrica where you could get a design, cut it out, paint it, and then sell it, but the design wasn't yours. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I just wanted to take a few minutes to make a quick video to address this and see what my subscribers and potentially new subscribers think. As always, I enjoy the time that we get to spend together here on the channel. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the little notification bell so we can spend more time together. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. And as always, let's keep on learning, burning, printing, and growing together. Take care, everyone.